And in that battle, how can love exist? If I'm hitting you, if I'm competing with you, if I'm trying to go beyond you, successful, ruthless, where is the flame of love or compassion, tenderness, then come into all that? It doesn't. And that's why our society, as it is now, has no sense of moral responsibility with regard to action or with regard to love. It doesn't exist.
I'm going back into the context of my own experience in the classroom again. It has always seemed to me that the first stanza of the Gita, first chapter of the Gita, which begins Dharma Kshetre, Kuru Kshetre, in the field of Dharma, in the Kuru field, that in the Kuru field is a statement in apposition, and that the field is one. I've walked into class when we've started to do the Gita, and I've tried to show, both linguistically, as it seemed to me was capable from the text, and in terms of the spirit of the whole, that this was really what was being said, that it's one field, it's not two fields, though we have one army over here and the other over here, but they don't occupy two fields. Somehow it is one field.
It's our earth.
Right, it's the whole.
Yes,
but you see, I think I would have done better, now that I've listened to you, if I'd gone into class and instead of making that statement and inviting them to look carefully at the text and to bear that in mind as we proceed through the teaching and watch for any misinterpretations of that will have occurred in commentary after commentary. It would have been better if I had started the other way. Would have been better if I had started by saying, let's have a look and see together whether it is one field or whether it's a field of conflict. We're not going to read the book at all at this point. We're just going to start here. This is the field. The classroom is the field. Now let's take a look.
If you understood that, the classroom is the field, and if you understand that, you've understood the whole thing.
Exactly. But I went in with the notion that though I had grasped that, so I thought, it was enough simply to show that verbally. But it's patently not.
Right.
It's patently not.
No.
And this is terrifying, because even though if you say in the classroom what ostensibly passes for what we call the right thing, it still will not prevail in terms of this act
yes,
that we've been talking about.
Quite right. Now, can we go there, sir? From there, we've discussed life, living,
Yes.
in which love doesn't exist at all. Love can only exist when the perceiver is the perceived and acts, as we said. Then that flame, that compassion, that sense of holding the earth in your arms, as it were. If that is understood, and from that behavior, because that is the foundation. If there is no behavior in the sense of non-conflicting behavior, then after establishing that in ourselves or in observing it, we can proceed next to the question of death. Because that is, the question of death is an immense thing. To me, living, love, and death are not separate. They are one movement. It isn't death over there, which I'm going to meet in 20 years or next day. It is there. It is there with love and with living. It's a continuous movement, non-divisive. This way I live and think, feel, that's my life. I mean this. These are not just words to me. So, before we enter into the question of death, we have to go into the question of what is consciousness. Because if one doesn't understand what is consciousness, not the explanation, not the description, not the word, but the reality of consciousness. Am I, as a human, ever conscious? And what is to be conscious? What is it to be aware? Am I aware? Totally. Or just occasionally I'm aware when a crisis arises. Otherwise, I'm dormant. So that's why it becomes very important to find out what is consciousness. Right, sir?
Yes. What you've just said seems to me to indicate that we're making a distinction between consciousness, which is a continuing movement, utterly situated in act,
That's
as
right.
over against these blips, these eruptions virtually,
blips, that's right.
within the sleepy course of nature.
Nature, that's right.
Yes, I see that. Yes, please
So
go ahead.
what is consciousness? Consciousness is its content. I'm putting it very simply. I prefer to talk about these things very simply. Not in elaborate linguistic descriptions and theories and suppositions and all the rest. So it has no meaning to me personally.
If it's true, it will be simple.
Simple. Yes, of course. Consciousness is its content. The content is consciousness. The two are not separate. That is, the thoughts, the anxieties, the identifications, the conflicts, the anxiety, the attachments, the fears, the pleasures, the agony, the suffering, the beliefs, the neurotic actions, and all that is my consciousness. Because that is the content.
This is an equivalent statement to the world is me and I am the world.
That's right.
So there's a continuity there.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
So, the content which says that's my furniture, that's my God, that's my belief, with all its nuances and subtleties and all that, is part of my consciousness. Is part of the consciousness which says, I am. I am that. I am the furniture. When I identify myself, saying that's my furniture, you follow? When I'm attached to it, I am that. I am that knowledge which says, I've acquired knowledge, I've grown in it, I have been successful in it, it has given me great comfort, it has given me a house, a position, a power. That house is me. The battle which I've been through, suffering, agony, that's me. That's my consciousness. So, the content of consciousness